lunch, I just want to take a few minutes and share one of my favorite TV shows is The Office. And I don't know if you've seen this episode, but Michael Scott has gotten into terrible financial trouble. He's bought too many magic kits and too many other things, and he finds himself deeply indebted. And so he's talking to a friend in the office, and they tell him, you need to declare bankruptcy. It's the only way to get out of the mess that you're in. And so he pushes back. He doesn't want to declare bankruptcy. He tries to find another way. And then later in the episode, Michael is in his office, and all of a sudden you hear, bankruptcy! And I just laugh every time I think about that episode. And obviously everyone runs in and they tell him that's not a thing. Declaring bankruptcy isn't just saying it loud. You actually go through a process. And it turns out what Michael finds is that getting all of your debts wiped out is not as simple as just shouting bankruptcy. And today being Good Friday, what we're celebrating, what we're thinking about and dwelling on today is the price that Jesus paid to cancel our debts. Romans 3:23 and 24 says that for all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God, and that all are justified freely by His grace through the redemption that comes from Jesus. And that word redemption is a powerful, powerful word picture. In the first century, they had a form of slavery that's very different from what we understand today. Slavery in the first century was debt related. So when a person became so far indebted and so far behind financially that they didn't have any prayer of digging themselves out, they had the option to sell themselves as a slave, as an indentured servant to another person, and then that person would own them, but they would also have to care for them. They would have to feed them and clothe them and house them. And in return, all of their efforts went to that person. So they were a slave. They were owned. Now, once that happened, there were all these legal protections put in place to where you could buy somebody back out of that state. And so if you had a loved one or a family member who had means, they could buy you back out of slavery. And that process was called redemption. It was how you redeemed somebody out, and it was you putting up the price to buy the freedom and the life back of another person. And that's what Jesus did for us on the cross. We all owed a debt of sin that we could not pay. It would mean our utter and eternal destruction. The death that we owed would cost us everything. So God became a man. He put on human flesh, and He hung on a cross to pay the debt that you and I paid, to redeem us, to buy us back from the debt that our sin has sold us into slavery to sin and into debt to God, which is judgment. And so today, what we're remembering is Jesus paying that price for us on the cross. I love what Scripture says, where it says that while we were still enemies, Christ died for us. We weren't looking for this. We weren't seeking Him. We weren't giving ourselves to Him or even calling on. While we were still enemies of God, He paid the ultimate price for us. I love also in 1 John 4 where it says, this is how we know what love is. Not that we loved God, but that He loved us. See, God has modeled real love. And so today, being Good Friday, I want you to dwell all day on the fact that the cross is the ultimate symbol of God's perfect love and devotion and sacrifice for you and for me. Guys, we're so excited to share Easter together in just 2 more days. Sunday morning is Easter. We're going to have a 6:30 sunrise celebration. We're going to celebrate communion together, so have your communion ready as a family. We're going to go live at 6:30 right at sunrise from a special location. You guys can go outdoors with us if you want, just in your yard, and you can celebrate together with us on your phone. You can be in your living room, but at 6:30 a.m. we're going to have a special sunrise communion and prayer time together. It'll just last 10 minutes, and then you jump into your family Easter morning activities. where Easter in PJs is our theme for this year. And so we want you to use the hashtag Easter in PJs on Facebook. Take a picture of you and your family in your PJs celebrating Easter together, doing your egg hunts, shoot videos of that. If you go on www.graceunionstl.org, our website, you'll see an activity page there that you can click. And there's all kinds of fun at-home Easter activities for you and your family to share together. We want to encourage you, participate in those, play those together, take pictures of each other, take videos, 5-10-second videos, and share them on Facebook with the hashtag Easter in PJs so that we can all share each other's mornings together. Even though we're in our own homes, we're going to be able to celebrate together. We're so excited for Easter in PJs, and then it'll all wrap up at 10 o'clock as we join together for our worship and our celebration of Easter as a church. And so join us for all that. Don't forget there's a Facebook event. Go check it out. Click that you're going and share the event. Guys, we'll see you on Sunday morning.